Hey guys, Country Boy John here. Wanted to bring you some news that I am moving on from my Heatmaster MF10,000E. I bought this stove new in 2013 and I've been burning it for 5 seasons. It's now 2018. Actually burned a portion of this summer for the first time. We got some extra kids taken on, and we have 6 now, and that's a lot of showers for hot water. So this summer I burned through this summer and for hot water, and it's been going pretty well. So in 2013, when we bought this house and had a need for some kind of alternative heating system, because this house was just on pure electric, resistance, no heat pumps or anything, no propane, anything like that. So our electric bill that first winter was unsustainable in 2012. So I started looking for alternative solutions. I did analysis on all different types of heating system. I looked at geothermal, I looked at installing heat pumps, I looked at getting propane installed, and outdoor wood boilers. So I looked at all those situations, and it all came back to outdoor wood boilers. There was no comparison for quality of heat that you're going to get, and the return on investment was going to be a fraction of, say, like geothermal. So once I decided that outdoor wood heat was the way I was going to go, then it came down to picking the right boiler. And in 2012, 2013, modern gasification units were in their infancy, and I looked at them, and the maintenance headaches. There were exchanger tubes getting clogged with creosote. There were brushes you had to buy. All the wood had to be dry as a bone, really low moisture contents, things like that, and all that added up to me to just be giant headaches. So I switched over and looked at conventional updraft stoves. And then when it came down to that, I think I've shared most of my story with it. It came down to the Heatmaster had all the components that I wanted, so that's how I ended up with this. Now, in Indiana, when I bought this stove, they had already adopted the regulations that came out in 15, 16. No, I take that back. Not the gasification requirements, but they did have their own law that dictates, how high your chimney has to be if you have neighbors. It actually outlaws burning coal in a wood stove in Indiana. And then actually units that generated less than 350,000 BTUs were considered residential, and you couldn't get them already. So this unit is rated at 350,000 BTUs, which classifies it as industrial. So I was able to get this stove legally in Indiana. So bought this in 2013. It got here, got it unloaded, got it hooked up, and I've had 5 years of really good effective heating. This stove was large enough that if I wanted to go away for a weekend and it wasn't too cold, I could cram this thing full, and I get 3 days out of it. Now I have a buddy that lives right down the road, and he's interested in wood cutting and getting a stove too, so it's no problem for him to come load it. So that brings me to where I'm at now. So later today I've got a buddy coming. I set a price on this and was like, hey, if I sell it for this price, great, that gets me closer to the next stove I want to get. If I don't sell it, then I'll just keep burning this one. So had a couple guys that were interested, and finally got one that came in and decided he would take it. So later today he's coming to pick it up, and while this is gone, I'm going to be pouring a pad, pouring some sidewalk back to my new wood storage area. I used to have it here, but this is where the camper parks now, so moved the wood pile a little way, and it's downhill, so I'm going to be pouring some concrete, leveling things out a little bit. But in about 3 weeks, my new Heatmaster G200 will be here, and I'm going to be taking you all through that whole process with from getting it off the truck to getting it set in place, my concrete that's going to be poured, and then I'm going to be documenting that first season, how it goes, the learning curve, what all has to be done, getting the gasification figured out and tuned in. I mean, because this even took a learning curve. That first season was lots of ups and downs, but I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to have you there with me. Thanks.